Your kidneys filter about 50 gallons of blood every single day, and most of that work happens while you're asleep. So the real question isn't just, what should I eat for my kidneys? It's, what should I eat before bed when my kidneys are doing their hardest work with the least help from me? Tonight, I'm going to tell you about one fruit that's genuinely useful for kidney health. And, just as important, I'm going to tell you which popular healthy fruits you actually need to be careful with, especially after 45. Because in this case, more fruit isn't automatically better. Here's what most people don't realize about kidney health as we age. Kidney function naturally declines somewhat over time. By your 60s and 70s, filtration efficiency is often noticeably lower than it was at 30, even in people with no diagnosed kidney disease. That's a normal part of aging for most people, not a crisis. But it does mean your kidneys have less margin for error than they used to. Think about it like a filter in your home water system. When it's new, it can handle almost anything you throw at it without a problem. Over years of use, it still works, but it's more sensitive to being overloaded. Your kidneys are similar. They're built to last a lifetime, but the buffer they have for handling excess gets a little smaller with age. And this is exactly where fruit gets complicated. A lot of health content tells you to eat more fruit for kidney health without mentioning a key detail. Many fruits are high in potassium. For people with healthy kidneys, that's usually a good thing. Potassium actually supports healthy blood pressure and heart function. But for people with reduced kidney function or diagnosed kidney disease, high potassium foods can build up in the blood because the kidneys can't clear the excess as efficiently as they used to. That buildup, called hyperkalemia, can be serious, and it's something only your doctor or a kidney specialist can properly assess through blood work. Not a video, not a symptom checklist, and not guesswork. So the goal tonight isn't eat more fruit, generically. It's this: which fruit gives you real, well-supported benefits for kidney and urinary tract health without loading you up on potassium you may not need? That's a much more useful question, and it has a genuinely good answer. The fruit is blueberries, and specifically, a small handful eaten in the evening. Here's why they stand out for kidney and urinary health specifically, not just general health. Point 1, they're naturally low in potassium compared to many other popular fruits. A half cup of blueberries has meaningfully less potassium than a banana, an orange, or a serving of dried fruit like raisins or apricots. That matters if you're watching your potassium intake, and it means blueberries are a fruit most people, including many with mild kidney concerns, can enjoy more freely. That said, always confirm your personal limits with your doctor if you have diagnosed kidney disease, since individual restrictions vary. Point 2. They're rich in antioxidants, specifically a group of compounds called anthocyanins. These are what give blueberries their deep blue-purple color. Antioxidants help neutralize oxidative stress, a normal byproduct of the kidney's filtering work that tends to increase with age, along with general wear from things like blood pressure fluctuations and everyday metabolic activity. Reducing unnecessary oxidative stress is a reasonable, well-supported general strategy for supporting organ health over time, and the kidneys are no exception. But antioxidants are really only half the picture. The other half is something almost nobody talks about, and it might matter even more. Point 3. Hydration. Blueberries have decent water content, but the bigger point here isn't the fruit itself, it's what you pair with it. Mild chronic dehydration is extremely common in older adults, and there's a specific reason for that. Thirst signals naturally become less sensitive with age, meaning your body doesn't always tell you it needs water, even when it genuinely does. And underhydration puts real strain on kidney function, because your kidneys need adequate fluid volume to filter waste efficiently. When fluid intake is consistently a little too low, your kidneys are essentially being asked to do the same job with less to work with. Pairing a small serving of blueberries with a full glass of water in the evening covers both bases at once: the antioxidant support and the hydration your kidneys are relying on overnight.
Point 4. There's a related fruit worth mentioning here: cranberries. Unsweetened cranberries, not the sugary cranberry juice cocktail you'll find on most grocery shelves, have real, reasonably well-established research behind them for urinary tract health, which is closely connected to overall kidney health. I want to be precise here, though. Cranberries are not a treatment for an active kidney or urinary infection. If you think you have one, that needs a doctor's evaluation, not a fruit bowl. But as a general ongoing preventative habit, unsweetened cranberries, or a small amount of no sugar-added cranberry juice a few times a week, is a genuinely reasonable addition alongside blueberries.
One more thing worth knowing. Sodium plays a bigger role in this picture than most people realize. High sodium intake makes the kidneys work harder to maintain fluid balance, and it's one of the most common everyday habits that quietly works against kidney health, often far more than any individual fruit choice, good or bad. So if you're making room for a kidney-friendly evening habit, it's worth pairing it with an honest look at how much sodium is in your regular meals, particularly processed and packaged foods.
So here's the practical takeaway: how to actually put this into practice. A small handful of fresh or frozen blueberries, about half a cup, in the evening, roughly 1 to 2 hours before bed. A full glass of water alongside it. This isn't a minor add-on. It's doing real, meaningful work alongside the fruit itself. If you enjoy cranberries, unsweetened, a small serving works well, alongside or in place of blueberries a few times a week. And skip added sugar, sweetened dried fruit, and fruit juice with added sugar. The sugar adds no benefit here, and it can actively work against you, especially if blood sugar management is also something you're keeping an eye on. One honest caveat I want to be direct about, because this matters more than anything else in this video. If you have diagnosed kidney disease, are on dialysis, or have been told by your doctor to limit potassium, fluids, or specific foods, please follow that guidance over anything I've said here. Kidney disease management is highly individual. Your blood work tells your care team things a general video simply cannot know about your specific situation, and no general advice, including this one, should override that. For most people over 45 with generally healthy kidney function, though, this is a low-risk, genuinely reasonable evening habit to build. Good hydration, a low-potassium, antioxidant-rich fruit, and no added sugar working together, right at the time your kidneys are doing their heaviest overnight work. If this was helpful, subscribe for more clear, honest breakdowns of health habits that actually hold up. No miracle claims, just what the evidence actually supports.
Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.